college students.
Pulling our luggage out from underneath the bus, and they have a dog there sniffing through the back.
College athletes and their coaches say deputies targeted their bus because of skin color. Now, the sheriff's office responds, and you see more of the video.
Sex and Murder, Sunday night at 10 on HLN.
All right, so a college lacrosse team believes that they were racially profiled when officers in Georgia pulled over their team bus, but then started to search it for drugs.
I'm coming on the bus right now as to tell y'all, look, we're gonna check y'all's luggage, okay? If there is anything in y'all's luggage, we're probably gonna find it, okay? I'm not looking for a little bit of marijuana, but I'm pretty sure you guys as chaperones are probably gonna be disappointed in you if we find it.
The women's lacrosse team at Delaware State University, an HBCU, was on I-95 after an away game, making their way home last month. Officers said the bus was flagged for illegally driving in the left lane when a police dog then signaled that there could be drugs on board. None was found. The Liberty County Sheriff says the bus had high tinted windows, so he says his officers had no way of knowing the race of anybody on board when it got pulled over.
I do not exercise racial profiling, allow racial profiling, or encourage racial profiling. For what I have gathered, I believe that the stop was legal. No personal items on the bus or person were searched. We are happy that nothing was found and the passenger made it home safely.
And he adds that they actually pulled over several other vehicles that morning, including another bus where illegal items were found. But Sydney Anderson is a sophomore on the lacrosse team at Delaware State University who was on board that bus that day. And Sydney's up early with us. Sydney, good morning, and thank you for being with us. What did you see the officers looking through, and how did it make you feel?
It made me feel really inferior to see them going through our bags and going through our personal belongings and taking out the canine and having him sniff through our stuff.
And what did they actually go through? Like, how personal is stuff? Not only just luggage, but other items that you would have with you on a team trip.
Yeah, like some people had their panties and personal hygiene items that they were just rambling through our bags. And so they kind of just invaded our personal space, let alone go through our stuff.
Yeah. What did you think about the Liberty County Sheriff saying that the officers had no way of seeing who was on the bus before it got pulled over? Do you have a response to that?
As of now, I have no comment on the press conference. We're waiting for further investigation.
The sheriff also said they wanted feedback from people on the team about the experience and why they felt that way. What would you say to him about that?
If we got pulled over for a traffic law violation, there's no indication that we had any drugs on us, so it makes no sense as to why they had to check our personal luggage and go through our stuff. Yeah. There was no smell, no probable cause. There's no correlation between the two.
You know, the university president also said that he spoke with the players, spoke with your team members about the incident. Can you recall some of what was said in that conversation?
Yeah, President Tony Allen was just congratulating us for being so strong and brave during this hard period of time and letting him know that we're not alone and that people are behind us, standing with us as we go through this experience together and as we're in the face of the media.
You know, walk me through. Let's go back to the actual stop itself. So did they come on board at first and say, this is what we're going to do? And then are you looking around at each other, kind of like your reaction? How much did you depend on the coach's reaction to guide what you would do?
Yeah, when they came on the bus and told us that they're going to search our luggage, we were all in shock. They didn't tell us, they told us what they were going to do. And they alluded to the fact that we did have drugs in our possessions. Everyone was looking around in utter shock and very distraught at what they said. I know my coach was surprised, but as a coach, she was remaining strong for us as a team and being brave and putting on a good face. So we knew we can count on her.
Okay. And I have to say, too, that in a statement, the Liberty County Sheriff said in part, as a veteran, former Georgia State trooper and sheriff of this department, I do not exercise racial profiling, allow racial profiling, or encourage racial profiling. And it went on to say, from what I've gathered, I believe the stop was legal but I also understand my duty to help the public understand law enforcement while seeking ways to improve services. Does it change your outlook, Sydney, about future away games, or have you already gotten over that hurdle?
Yes, it definitely it definitely changed my future perspective as I was writing the article and reliving the experience. It was definitely hard to take in watching the video, looking at the pictures of us being racially profiled. So in the future, just being more aware and alert.
Sydney, thank you so much. I'm going to talk right now with a former NYPD Lieutenant, Darren Porcher, about what people's options are. You've heard the details about the traffic stop. Does it sound by the book to you?
Well, the narrative sounds troubling in connection with the group of lacrosse players on the bus. However, we have to take in consideration the purview of the Fourth Amendment allows officers more deference in connection with a vehicle stop, because the accessibility or the ability for that vehicle to move away allows officers to do a little bit more. So when you do something such as, I should say, when police do something such as bring a dog next to a vehicle, if the dog gains a hit and but lets the officer know that, hey, look, there's a potential for drugs being on the vehicle, then the officers can elevate their level of suspicion. Because when we take in consideration a premise, normally you would need a warrant to go in and search that premise. However, based on the mobility of the vehicle, the Fourth Amendment allows officers more deference in a situation such as what we saw.
I see. What if there had not been a canine unit there, and say I am a driver and I get pulled over and an officer says, I want to now search your vehicle. What are my rights?
You can simply deny the officer the ability to conduct a search of your vehicle. You do have that right. So the officer would need more standing to conduct a search of that vehicle against your will.
In the case of this bus, did the bus driver have that right, or no, because of the canine unit?
Well, based on the canine unit alerting the officer that there was a potential hit for narcotics or drugs on that bus, then the officers were availed the opportunity to conduct the search, as we see in this particular video.
So what was more problematic? Was it the canine unit had hit against something and the search was done, or was it the words that were used on board, which we see in the tape, which, indicated that the officers may have suspected the student athletes of having something they weren't supposed to?
Robin, the overall optics of this situation are very troubling. I think that it could have been handled differently, but at the same token, when we look at different states, they have different protocols. I clearly believe that this is something that shouldn't have occurred. However, based on what I see, the officers were acting within their jurisdiction, and the stop was sound based on it being a vehicle stop because there was a traffic infraction committed and the dog came up, and that's when the search took place. But I believe that the optics were troubling from my perspective.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Darren Porcher. And I want to thank Sydney Anderson, too, a member and a sophomore of the Delaware State University lacrosse team.
Sex and Murder. New episodes, Sundays at 10 on HLN.
Police department, I'm recorded.
I need to get help for my friend that's missing. Her name is Gretchen Anthony.
This case began all within a pandemic. Everyone was still in this, like, can we go outside? Can we go to work?
This is combined into this horrific tragedy.
She seemingly vanished out of thin air. Friends and family of Gretchen Anthony are getting alarming texts saying that she's sick with coronavirus.
They didn't seem like they were spoken in Gretchen's voice.
I thought something was definitely not right.
Hands out the vehicle!
I heard a really serious woman scream.
Don't reach! Don't reach! I got the knife, I got the knife.
Someone had gone to great lengths to actually clean up behind themselves.
Sunday night at 10 on HLN.
You know their names. Now see who they really are. I'm Donnie Wahlberg. Join me for a brand new season of Very Scary People this summer on HLN.